Yeah, it did, and it is in some ways back to the drawing board. They want to see some changes before it is finalized. So while it is not the last step in the process, the goal is to have it ready in place to go for next school year.
All in favor of moving forward with the policy on first reading, say aye.
Aye.
For months, debates and studies about whether or not students should put the phones away or even bring them to class. Heading into tonight's meeting, the latest plan, which included phones, tablets, and smartwatches, would require phones to be put away in silence in a backpack or locker, not in pockets. And smartwatches would have to be in airplane mode. But with those new edits, board members had a lot of questions, specifically the part about enforcement, allowing phones to be confiscated. They worry that could create even more tension in the classroom and even open the door to legal issues if a phone got damaged.
And if the policy requires the physical taking of a phone, potentially at any of these grade levels, I think you invite the real potential for more conflict and more disruption.
They also wanted to see the policy tailored towards grade levels.
High school looks much different than elementary and middle school, and so I would hope that as we move forward with this policy that we can kind of differentiate what those would look like.
They also debated whether the district could invest in pouches like this one used at concerts, but they say that would be too expensive. But they said smaller ones, similar to a calculator case, might be doable.
So you'd be talking about $150,000, which is not cost prohibitive.
Some parents we talked to said they're worried it would add another burden for teachers and said learning when to stop looking at the phone starts at home.
If you kind of lean on the teachers one more time for one more thing to do, it's yet another thing that they're responsible for having to keep up with. I think there's some parenting issues there in there as well.
And as they debate what that looks like, just glad they're not ignoring it anymore.
Technology can get ahead of the policies, and I think it's good that they're at least acknowledging that there's an issue and they should do something.
Yeah, definitely acknowledging it and certainly debating it. Again, as you just heard from a unanimous vote to approve the first reading, but that's a little bit misleading. It doesn't mean that that's going to be the final version. They just wanted to kind of move the process along so they could meet that time frame. They're going to need to make some changes. They'll be doing a work session, then possibly having another vote at their next meeting. But again, the end goal here is to have that new plan in place so teachers and students can know what they're getting into when class starts this fall for the 2025-2026 school year. Reporting live, Tom George, WC 11 Eyewitness News.